About a year ago now, I started a Patreon. Um, I had, um, I had for the, the COVID pandemic, I got very sick, and very fatigued, and was unable to work. Certainly, not even able to just like do the basics a lot of the time. Um, and I had been recovering, like improving. I was not recovered. When I Yeah, so through this time we were living on savings, which was like great that we'd managed to save up some money to, like, it turns out to weather a disaster, but yeah, those were running out, and I needed to ask for help. Um, and when I was at the worst, like I just like posting something like that, asking for help, felt like more than I could do. Really, like the point at which I did it was when I had the capacity. I felt like I was better enough that like I might not be producing games, but like this idea that I could just like go out every week or so and talk a bit, like I was like, I can do something, I can make content, right? But like it's hard to ask for money when you're not contributing anything. And I know this isn't a lot, but it's like the first videos were not good, and I feel the communication has improved a lot, but I'm still going to keep doing them and getting better at it. I have to like just ramble a lot to like get my thoughts in order, and then like eventually I'll be able to be a bit more concise, I think. But yeah, that's how it's been. It's yeah, and in that time I've done a couple of updates to older games, and that was took more time than I really felt like it should, but I did that. I got all fired up for working on a bigger project, but and that's going to happen, but like I haven't been effectively working. Like I wasn't in condition to work anything like how I used to, and with the kids at home, like I haven't been able to sit and concentrate, and I do a lot of the housework, the cooking and stuff, and yeah, I'm just being really careful to still manage the fatigue. And yeah, like I hope it's clear that like what I've been doing so far, like I've been doing a good job of convalescence. I'm getting better and better. I'm stronger. I'm actually in quite good fitness now, which like I wasn't at one point, but like, I'm still. Yeah, it's hard to compare. Like in terms of a lot of factors, I'm even better than I was before because I've been really taking care. But like I just don't have the overall vitality. But like I mean, like I go to an African dance class. Not at the moment. It's off for the summer. But like before that, I was going to an African dance class every week, and we just like really get it and sweat for 2 hours, and like I could do that fine. I'm fit. But yeah, I want to make games, and it hasn't been working, and opportunities come up. What I've done now is I have made a deal with a publisher, so I'm not indie anymore. Like whatever the heck indie means. Like I mean I'm still like creatively independent, but like yeah, I have a commitment to produce a game. It's a new game. It's I'll tell you about it when it's time, but it's smaller than the big project, which I'm still like trying to figure out how I'm going to make. But yeah, and basically what this means is I have enough money to live on for the immediate future, which is awesome. And I have a commitment to meet milestones, like, and actually have produced something by a certain time, which is not something I've ever like. I have in small ways. I have done a few commissions. Yeah, no, it's not true that I've not ever. But it feels different because it's a larger amount of money involved. Yeah, and you know, in the past, like I've often been working on a lot of projects in parallel, and sometimes like one game's been kind of stuck, and I've just like let it sit for a year, 2 years until I get the right idea or inspiration to continue with it, and that's been a good option to have. And like I guess right now I don't have that option, which like is fine, but it's a change. But the flip of that is that I think having commitment, like explicit commitments, is going to make it a lot easier to organize our time such that I have time to focus on working. Because, like, as a dad, what often happens is that like, you're just last in place. You know, the baby's the priority, the children are the priority, the mum needs what she needs, and the dad is just like the base, the foundation supporting all that. And you know, there's different family dynamics. That's not how it always goes, but it's not like when my fatigue was at its worst, obviously I would just sometimes collapse and just like be sleeping on the floor because I didn't have the energy to get to bed just in the middle of the day. And so like I wasn't always someone you could depend on for much. But that's improved a lot. Yeah, so there's a need to arrange things so that I actually have the time to get things done, because there's an explicit commitment to have things done by a time, and that's going to be good, because it like there's also attached to that enough money that I will be able to organise my time that way, because I've been doing a lot to save money. So like like if you work hard, there's a lot you can do to reduce your costs, just making all your food from scratch, from like cheaper bulk ingredients rather than and like some of that I'll continue doing, because like homemade tempeh just like is amazing. It just completely blows away what you can get in a shop. But like it's nice to be able to pick like which of those products like feel like a really worthwhile, like fun thing to do, and not and like our cost of living is going to go up, which like is kind of because like we'll be buying more food and more more prepared food, and like spending more on childcare, I guess, and like to free up my time, and like that the mindset of just like minimizing all the costs to get by is kind of hard to get out of. So I'm really having to do psychological work to like really like I can just like it's okay to have these expenses. It's okay. Like, yeah. I've started working in an office, like a shared co-work kind of space. And it helps so much. I just go there and I'm there and I can concentrate and program and get stuff done. It's amazing. My whole career before kids and fatigue, like I worked from home, and that was nice to just like have my own undistracted space where I could just be free to like be a bit wild. But that obviously hasn't been working lately. If we had like a bigger place to live in where like there could be a separate room to be a home office, like that'd be maybe my ideal. But like on the other hand, like having a shared space with other people, like they're good people. Like it's a couple of architects and an engineer, and like they're very serious, hardworking, and it's good. Like just an environment of people focusing and concentrating. That's conducive to doing that myself. And they're lovely. They're I've asked them to, where possible, speak to me in Portuguese, because like it's been hard to practice because people just like trying to help automatically switch to English whenever, like this, whenever, and yeah, they've been really respectful and caring about that. One of them has a partner who's not a native Portuguese speaker, and like learned Portuguese in the time they were together. And at the same time, he's learned her language, so he has experience from both sides of learning a foreign language as an adult, and yeah, I think that just really helps him be able to like it's just a skill that a lot of people here don't have. They don't know how to slow down. That like it can feel rude, but it's not rude. They're trying to be helped. They switch to English to help, but like as an English speaker who has lived in a variety of multicultural societies, like when I'm talking with someone who is new to the language, I know how to speak extra clearly, slow down, make myself think of different ways of saying a thing, use slightly different grammar to help them understand and be able to communicate. And yeah, people don't have that skill. It's not a matter of not caring. It's just like a lot of caring is skills. Like people get really offended if like you say I don't care. Of course I care, but like if you hear you don't care as you lack a skill, like that's not offensive. It's like, okay, I guess I could develop that skill, and that would be caring. Yeah, so it's an expense that I previously wasn't able to afford, but really helps with actually getting something done to have an office space to work in. And yeah, I'm getting stuff done at a much higher rate. It means, yeah, like that's taking time away from the family, and I'm still going to have plenty of time. I'm very aware that a lot of fathers are not present with their families. Either they just leave, or like even when they're still in a family unit, they're spending the whole day at the office and then coming home exhausted, and like so it's a little bit scary to me, like starting doing that, but like that's just something I have to get over. Like that's nothing to do with me, and like I don't like I don't make up for them by like not giving myself the time I need, and yeah, so working on that. Yeah, basically, I have enough money to live on, and enough money to actually work, which like I didn't. It's really amazing to see how just having a bit extra to have office space and pay a bit more for food and stuff really frees up my capacity to get anything done. I'm going to leave the Patreon open, because yeah, it's been a long time before this of not having enough income to live on and to work, and I mean even before I was sick and stuff, like I was not getting adequately compensated for my work. I was working bloody hard, and like I think an element of why I got fatigued, like why my system responded to the illness in that way, is that I had been overworking for a long time with inadequate compensation. Like it's I've done a lot, and I've made some really good contributions, and yeah, like there's still stuff that it would be nice to be able to afford. Like, for example, I'm looking at some dental work that I kind of need, that I don't think the current money quite covers. So like, I'm not my ambitions are simple. Just to be okay and to do nice work. But yeah, it's really good that I can work, and I'm still being careful to manage my fatigue. Like after 2 days in the office of like really focused computer time, I'm quite tired. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly what's the right pace for me to be working at. Like if it's 2 days on or 1 day off, or like half days sometimes, or what. Like it's but like for certain, I can work and I can produce something. It's just a question of figuring out the right pace, and in relation to that, figuring out the right scope for the project to not overstretch myself. Yeah. Also, I'm finding working in the office after my first couple of days there, my posture was visibly worse. Like my head forward, my shoulders, I'm going back into this like classic computer nerd kind of. It's hard to like fake it, but like. I realised like things a couple of other people said helped me realise this. Working at a computer is a physically taxing activity. Like you're focusing your attention, like you're using your hands, like really precise movements at the end of your arms in a endurance and like precision kind of way. And we don't think of it as like a sport. We think of it as like lazy, but it's physically challenging, and I am out of practice at doing it for an extended period. And when I was previously doing it for extended periods, it was at home where I had a lot of freedom to take breaks and stretch and roll around and like like when I was first doing it, like I didn't have a lot of body awareness and like fitness and stuff, but like I was young and that helps. But like I through my career, like I've learned a lot of body care as well, and I really had a practice of working in which I would concentrate and get things done, but also like flop back and have a lot of stretching and movement to help compensate for the intensity of the activity of focusing on a computer. And working in a shared space, I'm not as free to make all those kinds of movements. It's not really a matter of self-consciousness. I don't mind if someone sees me just like wiggling about or whatever, but it's just not necessarily appropriate in a shared space. It's distracting for other people. Like they're concentrating on their work, and yeah. So I'm trying to just find the right approach to this. The main thing I've instituted is that I do not go to the office. I do not start work there unless I've done a good warm-up. Like I'm really having a morning warm-up time to prepare my body for the endurance challenge of computer labor. And then while I'm there, find what's the range of stretches and stuff that does just feel acceptable to do. It's not going to distract people too much. Just putting your arms up is fine, and like I can go out the back and do a bit of a movement routine, and yeah, like there's a lot I can do, and that's working out well. Like I'm not responding the same as I was for the first couple of days, so that's good. And yeah, so thank you so much everyone who contributed to my Patreon. Like it got me through to like that point a year ago. I would not have been at all comfortable committing to something where I have like milestones, because I was not capable. Now it's been hard getting through, but now I am at a point where I'm like, I can do this, and yeah. Yeah. So moving on, new stage. Like, hopefully, like this just works out great, and I make something. It doesn't. It's going to be something small, and well, I'll talk about there's plenty of time to talk about that, but yeah, like thank you for your support and for listening if you listen, and for doing something better with your time if you don't. And yeah, I'm doing this. Bye.